I think every biker has this itch in their hands. We don't know when the itch comes, what that itch is, but it happens. For me, I was 5 or 6 years old. My dad had a Raju, and I wouldn't let him come home before taking me on a round around the colony. So it had to be like 1 or 2 rounds. I was in my 7th grade, I recall. My brother had an RX 100. He brought it home, and that's the first time I actually rode a bike. That's when I felt I felt power in my hand. It felt amazing, and I realized this is what I want. I mean, that itch, I think for me, started exactly at that moment when I said, hey, you know what, I need to buy a bike when I grow up. I think I'm a little quirky, nitpicky, always like to be a little unique in anything I do or I have. I would want things to represent who I am. I love things that are old, that have an antique or a vintage connection. I still own old cameras. When all of this had to come together, it was difficult. That's when SD launched its bike, and it felt like it was speaking to me. It felt like this would be something that would define who I am. When I test rode, it exactly reminded me of how I felt on a Yamaha RX 100. Personally, that was how it was, and I thought this will allow me an opportunity to relive my old memories or make me feel young. Of course, there was this whole vintage charm with the brand, but it was new, it was fresh, it was not something that I'd seen in other bikes. There was no comparable. So it made this whole fact of it being unique appeal to me at the first instance. It felt like a lot of thought had gone to designing the bike. Checked all the boxes that I was always particular about. But I really look forward to sitting in the bike and doing the few kilometers back home, because I think that makes my day a lot better. I think it's safe to say that itch is probably gone now. This bike makes me feel all that I want to be and more. I'm Sriram Sabapathy, and I run a creative studio called Last Bench, and this is my story.